Hello! Welcome to our channel. Arien and Safa's love started, like many others, through an arranged marriage. But their love story was far from ordinary. Safa was a beautiful young woman with traditional values. She had just graduated university, and her father, though progressive in many ways, was also very traditional when it came to his little girl getting married. So when a respectable government employee named Arien was chosen as Safa's groom, father was pleased. When Safa first met Arien, she was drawn to his quiet confidence and sense of duty. Despite being initially shy, she could feel a connection with him that went beyond the formalities of their meeting. And when they were wed, she became certain that her father had made the right choice. However, soon after the wedding, Saif discovered a secret about her. They were not as well off financially as she had been led to believe. But instead of being disappointed, she found herself even more impressed by her husband's dedication to his work and his integrity. Even though they didn't have much money, Arien and Safa were happy. Their love for each other grew stronger every day. But fate had another twist in store for them. One day, Arien received some urgent news. He had to travel abroad for 3 months for specialized training. This sudden development left Safa worried and scared. It was her first time being away from her family for so long. Plus, her father-in-law was also sick and needed care. Seeing his wife's distress, Arien quickly tried to reassure her. He told her that he'd asked his elder brother to come and stay with her. He'll look after you and my father, Arien promised, hoping to ease his wife's worries. 3 days later, the replacement arrived. This was Arien's brother's son, a charming young man around Saifa's age. Take care of my wife and father, Arien instructed. And don't leave the house unless it's absolutely necessary. Maheen. Don't worry, brother-in-law. I'll take good care of them, he said with a reassuring smile. But secretly, Maheen was already plotting. On the pretext of fixing a leaky roof, he managed to get a room near Sif's room. I'll fix this tomorrow, he told her, pointing to a corner where a few drops of water were dripping. Sif nodded, thinking nothing of it. The next day she heard the sound of hammering and the distinct smell of wet wood filled the air. It seemed he was keeping his promise. But when evening came, the rain had stopped and the roof was dry. Yet Maheen continued working. Safa couldn't help but question Maheen's actions. Why did he choose to stay in the adjacent room? Could there be something more behind his seemingly innocent choice? Suspicion began to cloud her judgment, twisting simple actions into potential motives. With Maheen's presence in the adjacent room, started feeling uneasy. Every creak of the floorboard, every cough echoed in the silence, amplifying her unease. Simple tasks like going to the bathroom became stressful, imagining Maheen's eyes following her every move. Maheen, oblivious to Safa's turmoil, continued with his routine. He woke early, exercised in the courtyard, and spent evenings helping with household chores. But his attentiveness only added to Safa's discomfort. She couldn't shake off the feeling that he was trying to isolate her. One evening, Safa decided to venture out. She wanted to buy groceries from the market down the street. Usually, she enjoyed these trips. The vibrant colors, the enticing aromas. But tonight, fear tightened its grip on her. As she got ready, she noticed Maheen watching her. "Where are you going?" he asked, his tone laced with surprise. "I'm just going to the market," she replied, trying to sound nonchalant. "Not safe," he stated, his tone leaving no room for argument. "I'll come with you." Before Safa could protest, Maheen and grabbed his jacket and was out the door. She wanted to tell him that she didn't need his escort. Words caught in her throat. A mark at Maheen's possessiveness. No, Bob. He stood by Safa's side, his arm a barrier between her and the rest of the world. Whenever a stranger approached, his eyes narrowed, his body positioning itself between Safa and the outsider. After the market, Safa retreated to the sanctuary of her own. As the days passed, her unease grew. Maheen's presence was a constant reminder of her confinement. He accompanied her everywhere, his shadow never leaving her side. Evenings were those. After dinner, while Safa tried to read, Maheen would sit close, his eyes on her, not in a loving gaze, but in a way that made her skin crawl. Sometimes shout, not to hold her hand, but to flip through the pages of her book. His touch sent shivers down her spine. Then there were the phone calls. Maheen answered every call that came in, talking in hushed tones. Always I'd smile. Whenever he left the room, Safa's heart raced. Was Maheen hiding something from her? Why was he so secretive? Her chance to find out came one afternoon. A stranger had come to see. Arien. The man looked around, his eyes lingering on Safa before he spoke to Maheen. Safa couldn't hear what they were saying, but she saw Maheen's reaction. His face hardened. His voice dropped to a dangerous low. Get out of my house! Maheen's words were sharp, leaving no room for negotiation. The man's face contorted with anger, but he left, muttering threats under his breath. Maheen immediately went to the window, his gaze following the departing man. His earlier charm seemed like a distant memory. Now there was a hardness in his features, a fierceness in his eyes that both frightened and intrigued. That night, unable to bear the suffocating atmosphere any longer, Safa confronted Maheen. Why did you shout at that man? Who? Maheen turned, his expression hardening at her questions. Who do you think you are to ask me such questions? He snapped, his tone aggressive. I am your wife's cousin, Safa told him. And I am worried about her. His anger seemed to evaporate as quickly as it had appeared. Maheen sighed, running a hand through his hair. I'm sorry, Safa. I didn't mean to shout at you. It's just, I haven't been honest with you. Maheen revealed a shocking truth. That man who came here today is one of those goons that hang around the market. I overheard them talking about women who go to the market alone. When I heard they were looking for someone named Arien's wife, I knew I had to do something. What do you mean? Safa asked, her mind racing. I've been staying in a guest room, Maheen continued. Not because I wanted to, but because I needed to keep an eye on you. I fixed the roof to have an excuse to stay in your room. I'm sorry if I scared you, but I had to do it. Those men were dangerous, and I wasn't going to take any chances. Safa felt a rush of emotions. Fear, gratitude, a deep sense of misunderstanding towards Maheen. She realized that his actions, which she had misinterpreted as possessive and controlling, were actually driven by his loyalty and care for her. The guilt she felt from misjudging him was overwhelming. Seeing the hurt in his eyes, she understood that he had only wanted to protect her. Maheen watched as realization dawned on Safa's face. He wasn't sure how to explain his actions, but seeing her understanding, he felt a wave of relief. Over the next weeks, everything changed. Safa apologized for her behavior, and the two formed a strong bond. She learned that appearances could be deceiving, and that Maheen, the man she had judged, was actually her silent protector. And as Arien's return approached, Saif helped but wonder if their lives would continue to be intertwined in ways she had yet imagined. As the sun set, casting long shadows across the court, Safa leaned against the railing, watching the practice his sword. His movements were fluid, graceful, yet powerful, reflecting the strength and honor he held within. She thought back to the past few weeks, remembering her owlish fears and the hurtful words she had spoken to Maheen. Shame crept in, but it was overshadowed by admiration for the man who had risked his illness to protect hers. Suddenly, a loud crash broke the peaceful evening. Safa turned to see a group of young men striding purposefully towards them. Tall leader, tall, imposing figure with a sneer on his face was none other than the man from the market, the one Maheen had chased away. Fear clutched at heart, but she was frozen in place, unable to react. The men closed in, their eyes gleaming with malice. And Safa could feel his fears being confirmed. In the next episode, Maheen will be forced to fight to protect Safa. Will he be able to defend her honor, or will the evil intentions of these men prevail? Wonderful viewers! We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to support, watch the next episode early, please consider becoming a paid member. Your support means the world to us and allows us to continue bringing you amazing content. Thanks for watching.